Speaking with CGTN's Zheng Chunying, economist Keyu said China is a major stabilizing force for the global economy at the present time. Jin said that while Washington has embarked on a path of tariffs and protectionism, China is opening to the world, implementing unilateral tariff reductions for many countries.
Hi, Professor Jing. Great to have you with us. First of all, let's talk about this year's summer Davos. What are some of the key messages did you bring to this year's Davos?
Well, every country in the world has an interest that U.S. and China trade tensions are lowered and return to normal, because it's not just a U.S.-China matter alone. Everyone's going to be affected. Everyone throughout the supply chain. The cumulative indirect tariff burdens are really large. So it's in the world's interest to reduce already the inflation pressure that is harming not only the U.S. but also emerging markets. The second is we really have to question whether this framing of who wins, who dominates, is really the right way to think about today's world. That was the old playbook. Today, dominance and winning means very, very different things. The power of a country lies in the ability to coordinate others and to collaborate with others rather than the ability to coerce.
Your book touched much upon the relationship between state and market. So what kind of role do you think Chinese government is going to play, especially when we talk about productivity, high quality development, innovation, so on and so forth?
I think the strategy which has been put forth by the government is really to provide the right kind of environment for the private sector to take up the opportunity to transition from a real estate manufacturing-based economy to a higher tech, high-end manufacturing-based economy. That is a transition that, if managed well, could happen in 3 to 5 years. But that really depends on the private sector latching on to these initiatives. The state can provide the sound macro stability, financial environment, but really innovation is driven by the private sector.
And given the current global landscape with geopolitical tensions, with supply chain disruptions, how should China position itself in the current global landscape?
Look, all countries are, or at least many countries are looking onto China to take on the mantle of being the major stabilizing force of the global economy and globalization, global supply chains. While Washington, D.C. is erecting higher walls, China is lowering a lot of the walls, talking about unilateral tariff reductions for many, many different countries and opening up sectors. And I think that's the right direction to go. It is not in conflict with China's project of technological self-reliance, because even in that autonomous tech chain where China is center, there are many, many countries joining. Even Japan, Korea, we've seen the trilateral conference last couple of months. Lots of countries don't want to just be with one camp, US or China. They want to be with both.
Thanks for your insights and time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Great to be with you.